Good evening, Vikings, and welcome to this amazing soccer matchup between your Niles North Vikings and the defending IHSA 3A state champs, the new Trier Trevians. I am the Snake, Jacob Ornstein. Anthony Bramley will be joining me very shortly, and we have an amazing matchup ahead of you, so stay tuned. Some final preparations. players now taking the field. Momentarily, we will witness the playing of our national anthem. Stay tuned. But first, the starting lineups. Number 1, Thomas Terry. Yannick Vaughn. Alex Polenko, number 3. Nico Passan, number 4. Number 6, Marco. Noah Apache. Cole Driscoll. Linus Oak. Patrick Schnee. Ryan Schneider. Jack Lehman. And now let's meet your Vikings. Giovanni Zala in the goal. Jaleel Garcia. Jason Aram. Diego Moreno. Daniel Escobedo. Ilan Jamal. Afram Zara. Trey Harris. Nino Hara. Jawad Chabane. And Jesus Patana. And now we will have the playing of our national anthem. A great rendition of our national anthem, and it is just about time for soccer here at beautiful Chuck Post Stadium. Once again, I'm the Snake, Jacob Ornstein. Anthony Bramley making his way up to the booth shortly, but for now, it's just me, and I hope you guys enjoy me. I'm personally fired up for this game. New Trier is going to be a very big test for these Vikings. They are the defending state champions. And our Vikings, they're very known for taking on very big competition. But this is going to be a major test for the Vikings. So everybody is huddled together, getting ready to kick off. So the players are making their way, and look who just joined me in the booth. It is Anthony Bramley.
Hello, Viking Nation. Jacob, let's give a quick recap of the pregame before we get into the kickoff.
100% Anthony. This is an amazing matchup we have ahead of us. New Trier, the defending IHSA 3A state champs, coming into our house, beautiful Chuck Post Stadium, as these Vikings are going to face an amazing test here. I cannot wait for some soccer action here, Anthony.
Hey, me neither. You got a very strong Viking team against a proven New Trier team. Will definitely be a big matchup here tonight. And New Trier will start us off. Ball rolling on the ground and a big pass. Great aggression from the Trevians. And just roll it out of bounds. Will be Trevian ball.
Yeah, Anthony, I wouldn't be surprised if they showed off this early on. New Trier wants to establish aggression. They are the favored ones here. I mean, there's no odds in this game. After all, this is high school. But you're going to see a lot of that aggression, I think, throughout this game, Anthony.
Yeah, you can see why already. Trying to get those moves in, trying to get some goals. And, you know, that attempted pass. Again, great ideas, just rolling off the outside of the foot. Sorry, inside of the foot at a poor angle. Was off of a Viking, though. And we'll have a corner kick from the Trevians in the first minute. Gets set up and launches and go Trevians.
An amazing goal right there by New Trier. Set it up perfectly in the box with the corner kick. You love to see it, Anthony. Well, I guess you don't love to see it, but absolutely read perfectly, and I'm pretty sure that went off a Viking. So an early goal here in under 2 minutes, and New Trier establishing aggression early on, just like I said, Anthony.
Yeah, definitely, Jacob. And they got lucky with that field position there. I mean, great idea to launch it down, and then they got 3 opportunities to set it up and made it on the third. Vikings now strolling on the far side and denied by number 10 from New Trier. Will remain Viking ball, though, Jacob.
That stop felt kind of demoralizing, Anthony. Just got in front of it. That ball went ricocheting out of there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, taking a ball with such velocity, obviously scary, but Trevians fearless, and that shows in their run in the state series last year and here with that first goal. It's a Trevian territory, but they roll it out, and it's that same number 10 trying to take it down. He's got a defender in number 8, Elian Jamal, and switching to Moreno. Pass into the back pitch. And now on the close side, Trevians try to get it down. Great box out by number 7, Daniel Escobedo. And now Captain Irfan Sarvan, the senior, has the ball. He gets it back and finds Escobedo on the end. Knock it back to Sarvan. Finds the gap, slots it to Jawad Shaban. Chips in the box, and that's a goal! Vikings. Jacob, great energy here from both teams.
100%, Anthony. Knock, knock. Who's there? The Vikings. And I'm just showing that the Vikings will not back down to the Trevians' aggression. Perfect read right there in the box. Absolutely slammed that thing home, Anthony. Amazing.
Yeah, definitely, Jacob. They do say that offense is the best defense. You know, obviously, I like the defensive side of the ball a little bit. But, hey, if this keeps up, we're going to have quite the entertaining match here. Trevians will get us started on the ball. And there's that launch pass again. This is what resulted in the early Trevian goal. They'll knock it back and goes out of bounds. will be Viking ball inbounded by Nino Haro. Shaban with the ball. And double teamed by Trevians. They've got possession now deep into Viking territory. Light kick into the box and stopped by the keeper. Vikings now bringing it down. And Jacob, what do you have to say about the Vikings so far?
I will say, Anthony, this is gonna be essentially a boxing match. I think New Trier is gonna show that aggression. They are the dominant ones here, being the defending state champions. However, the Vikings, I think they're gonna take that very personally. They're not gonna let this team march into their house and take them down. No. They're looking for the upset here, Anthony, and you're gonna see that all game. That ball's going to fly out of bounds. And a quick throw in right here. New Trier with it. Ball rolling. And a tumble there. Spun around like a record player, Anthony.
Definitely, Jacob, and it elicits a whistle from the ref. I mean, a great defensive energy from the Vikings. Just a little bit too much, though, as the Trevians are in a pretty scary position. The Trevians have this guy just on the sideline. I'd be nervous for him. Chips into the clump, goes long, and header stopped by Albert, gets knocked down, and that's Viking grit.
Oh, that ball had a scary bounce, Anthony. Very well played strategically. But great job on the Vikings keeper to just dive on it. Make sure nothing comes of that.
Definitely. And we saw that big punt from the Vikings, too. Again, trying to get some offense going, but knocked back by the Trevians. And they'll be inbounding. It's their number 2. Down the sideline and headed by Sarvan to Harris and back to Sarvan. Down the line and a great clear by Jawad Shaban. Ball will roll out of bounds, and it's Irfan, leaving it to number 13, Nino Haro, for the toss. Headed by Harris. And it's a Viking on the ground as the Trevians knock it back to Shabana. That's Trey Harris on the far side, and out of bounds, or not out of bounds, off that flag post. It's the Trevian keeper now with the ball, looking for the goal kick. And he'll let it roll. You saw some leadership there, Jacob. Saw him yelling, trying to get his team sorted, get them into position.
Yeah, and I think that really speaks to their success, Anthony. You want a leader that is able to communicate well with their team. I think that's why they have so much success.
Yeah, and they're continuing the success. They're in possession of the ball, running it down. Got a couple of guys downfield as a Trevian falls to the ground. He gets back up. It's number 10. And it'll be Trevian ball set up right around the 40-yard line.
Nice little sell there by number 10. I feel like you're going to see a lot of that with New Trier. They're going to try to get calls where they can, and they're definitely going to do it. Try to gain an advantage. It's interesting to see. I mean, everyone does it.
Yeah, and there's also a Viking falling on the ground, Danny Escobedo. Not sure that one is as much of a sell as it was a legitimate fall, but he'll also get to set up the ball. Light pass, and there's the far one as the Trevians are in possession. On the far sideline, they juggle between players, and they pass it all the way to the back end of the pitch. Rushing in now, number 2 finds another Trevian. It's number 3, and knocked out by the Vikings. They'll play it safe, try to gain some, or slow the game down, rather, in the back pitch.
You know, Anthony, one thing I've really noticed about this New Trier team is their speed. They have been everywhere on the field, covering all four corners, and I think it's just a matter of the Vikings keeping up, and oh, good stop there by the keeper.
Yeah, definitely. We saw that pressure being applied. I think it was number 17 from the Trevians, just now running up behind Escobedo, trying to get on that ball, forcing him to get rid of it, not set up the play how he wanted. So, again, great pressure there by New Trier. Down the sideline they go, looking for a pass. And into the box, trying to find number 6, but just not fast enough and a little wide. Albert with the punt. And the Trevians will retain the ball. Yeah, just barely kept in bounds. Again, trying to draw some Vikings out. Trey Harris, one of them. And the pass intercepted by Irfan Sarvan. Vikings in possession. It's Escobedo trying to run it down. And again, great pressure from number 20 right behind him. And 16, a little bit of a bump. Pass from Gael Garcia goes to a Trevian. They're back in possession on their own side of the pitch. Their number 3 tries to get it down. And good communication there between 13, Nino Haro, and the keeper to not collide there and let the keeper gather.
Yeah, communication is going to be a key one here in this, Anthony. Which team is going to be the most in sync? That's how you take down an absolute giant that is the New Trier Trevians. I think you got to see a lot more of that from the Vikings if they want to have a V for Viking victory on their turf against the defending state champs.
Yeah, certainly, Jacob, and the Trevians have been known for their communication. We obviously mentioned it earlier. Their keeper trying to set up plays. So, they feel like a very in-tune team as they try to get closer to that goal.
They're very pro-like in a lot of ways, Anthony. Just when you look at them, you look at the speed of their game, you look at the things they do, it's a lot similar to what you'd see in a lot of Premier League teams.
And great save from Albert. Yeah, definitely, Jacob. One thing I'm noticing lacking from the Vikings here so far is that back pressure that we were talking about from the Trevians. And, part of that is trying to save some energy. But, it's really effective in knocking the ball out, getting some possession time for the Vikings. And, hopefully setting up a play. It'll be the Trevians in the corner and crowding the goalie box. Winds up and headered, little long. Number 3 from the Trevians tries to keep it in, and from the back stopped. Looked like it was, couldn't tell who that was. Might have been Jason Avram deflecting it. It is Trevian ball now on their own side of the pitch. They're number 15. Running down. Cross off the chest of another Trevian, and great strike attempt. And even better save on the second. Albert doing a great job stopping the Trevians here.
Just an absolute beautiful diving save right there. Hopping on that thing, Anthony. It's amazing. That ball had major velocity from it all the way up here in the press box. I think you can just hear the boom that ball had on his gut. That had to hurt to take, but man, he's feeling good right now.
Yeah, certainly there, Jacob. And looks like the Trevians are going to try to keep it up here. It will be knocked out of bounds by, it looks like, number 6. Or number 9, apologies. The Vikings going to toss in down the sideline. But the Trevians come out in possession. In the midfield now. Try to pass it down. Chipped up by Chabana. But the Trevians own 17. Making Irfan knock it out early. Ball is cleared by the Vikings captain. And it's the Trevians resetting the play. Ooh, great footwork there. Just, messing up Jesus Mataran from the Vikings.
Just a quick point of analysis, Anthony. Something I'm noticing a lot from New Trier is if you look at their keeper, I mean, it looks like he's off screen right now, but he's right now lined just past the 20-yard line, playing outwards. It's interesting to see, Anthony. You don't see that very much at the high school level. That shows a lot of the confidence of these Trevians, and I'm pretty sure that's something you see a lot in the pros as well.
Yeah, certainly, Jacob. I mean, he is confident in this Trevian team. He knows these guys, obviously, and he knows that they're going to keep making moves on the Viking side of the pitch. You know, except for that goal, I don't think the Vikings have really spent much time back there. You know, and when the Trevians are trying to keep it slow in the back pitch, it is going to be no pressure from the Vikings.
Yeah, and that again speaks to New Trier's aggression. They want to push. They want to make sure that ball stays in the Viking zone, and they are going to keep attacking that, trying to tire them out, making sure that they can't even go down to the other side to score.
Yep, and here's the set piece from the Trevians, very low and stopped by the keeper. Great save there from the Vikings as they look to get a play going.
Just another great save right there. He's been on fire tonight. It's been amazing to watch. He's getting in front of these balls, and he's doing well against this very aggressive New Trier team. And oh, hold on.
Yep. Speak of aggression, trying to cut through, passing to his left and through the defenders, but it is knocked back up. Got number 20 trying to make some moves. Looks like the ball came off his knee. And that could have been really dangerous as the Trevians continue to try the play here. Vikings will stop it, though. It goes down the pitch. And making the keeper run for it. Couldn't keep that one in bounds, but it might have worked to his advantage there. And that's one of the dangers of playing up like that, Jacob.
That's why you condition, Anthony. That's why that's what these guys do every day in PE. Just that running up and down the field. Although, luckily, nothing comes of that.
Yeah, and I don't know about New Trier's programming. I mean, I'm sure they've got some great athletic and physical welfare department partnerships. They produce players like the ones that won the state championship last year. But Niles North offers the varsity PE class. Jacob, don't you take it?
I do take it. I have a first period. Shout out Coach DeGeorge.
Yeah, lots of great coaches in there from our athletics department. Obviously staying in touch with our school community. And Coach DeGeorge, fantastic strength and conditioning coach. We're so lucky to have someone like him. And a lot of these schools, you know, even in our area, which we like to think of as having a lot of resources, a lot of schools don't go out and get a strength and conditioning coach. So Niles North community is very lucky to have someone like Coach Jordan DeGeorge in the weight room. It's New Trier on the far sideline, making Gael Garcia run for it. And in the foot race, Jason Avram gets beat up by the number 3, cuts across, and chipped up by number 13, Nino Haro. Trevian play is stopped, but they will keep aggressive. Gael Garcia with some great defense and some good pressure here from, it's like, Moreno.
And a great job by Haro there. Disrupted a New Trier momentum. He was coming down the field with the pitch, should I say, with a full head of steam, and he gets in there, gets a foot in there, makes sure nothing comes of that. It's great defense by the Vikings, and it's the reason this game is tied, and the reason that they could start adding points pretty soon.
Yes, certainly. That ball got knocked out of bounds off of a Viking, and it'll now be the Trevians winding up, having a lot of opportunities like this close to the net, only able to capitalize off of one. Takes it a little slow, and the header cleared through the uprights by the Viking, or not through the uprights. It stays on the field. The play is stopped.
A very scary situation there. New Trier has been dominated with the corner. However, the Vikings defense able to lock up, making sure that ball goes nowhere near the net, and that has just been the constant throughout this game, Anthony.
Yeah, definitely. Vikings obviously playing a lot of defense here. I don't like that they're playing it so close to the net, though. I would like to see a little bit more action in the midfield. Just try to knock it out of the Trevians' possession before they even get a chance. And, oh my goodness. The save is good. That was scary from our angle. It looked like it might have crossed the plane, but Albert keeping that ball out of the goal and keeping the score 1-on-1.
Man, give that man a medal. He has been he has been electric stopping the Trevians. And this is not just any new Trier Trevians. These are the defending state champions. There's a lot of pressure that goes to this game, and there's a lot of pressure they're putting on him right now, and he is there. He is stopping every single time. It is amazing to see, and he has not let that first goal within the first 2 minutes get to his head. He is locked in, and he is ready to go, Anthony.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Been part of this program for, obviously all 4 years, and seen a lot of the Viking greats come and go. Obviously, we like to talk about Quinn Graham, a couple of records here, leaving last season. So he's kind of taken that mindset from his former teammates and trying to continue as one of the many seniors on this team. It's number 5, Jason Avram. Thought it was going down, but he'll keep it in the backfield. Haro back to Avram. And trying to take it slow. He winds up, sends that one far. Too far, headed by the Trevians. They're now in possession on the far sideline with great pressure there from Escobedo. Trevians number 2 down the sideline through Sarvan. And, ooh, it's number 7, Danny Escobedo tripping. Luckily, Trevians were stopped on that play, but that could have been bad for the Vikings. Trevians number 10 on the far end. Was it off of his foot? It was. Viking tossing now.
And that could be a very good opportunity for the Vikings to gain a little momentum here as they're going to throw in. New Trier has been fast. Like I said, they've been covering all 4 corners of this field. And this is going to be a good catch of breath for the Vikings, and hopefully could start some offensive momentum. There's a lot of speed differences, it feels like, between these two teams, and see if we can slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, and actually Vikings trying to make a move. Stopped by the number 17 from the Trevians, I believe. Number 13. They've got really small numbers on their jersey, Jacob.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to read from up here, Anthony.
And the ball out of bounds will be Shabana on the toss-in. Escobedo with the ball to Sarvan. Chips it back to Shabana. And little reverse move there. Gives the ball to Escobedo. I think someone needs to check the spikes on his cleats. Second time falling. Ball kept in bounds by number 6, Diego Moreno. And Sarvan with the ball again.
I don't know if it's as much of the spikes in his shoes, Anthony, but rather just how much these Trevians have been putting the Vikings on roller skates almost. You could really see the difference in speed. They're making plays. They are showing their aggression.
Yeah, and Jason Avram showing some defensive aggression. Great clear there. Oh, and it's number 21, Aiden Ramich. New on the pitch. And in our last broadcast, we do want to acknowledge on our roster, Michael Mann and Aiden Ramich were switched. So we were attributing the wrong things to the wrong people. We do believe we have it corrected now. So there's Ramich getting in the middle. The Trevians there. Ball goes out of bounds off of a Viking. And it's New Trier's number 19. Tossing. No Trevian to finish out the play, though. Vikings will clear it. That's number 22, Michael Mann, also new on the pitch. Got a little bit of time on the ball. And again, that pressure from behind from the Trevians causing a couple of hiccups for Escobedo and the Vikings. Here's Shabana to Escobedo and back. Gets it to nutmeg Sarvan. And now it's Trevian ball. Overran by the Trevians. Now the Vikings in possession down the sideline. And it's Vikings. Yeah, Viking possession here. You get to set the ball up, and again, not as close to the goal like the Trevians have been able to. Ball barely keeping in. And very scary, just riding the sideline there. As goes through the uprights, and it's out of bounds from the Trevians.
Great field goal there by the Trevians. That'll go make 'em go up 3 points as they are set to kick off to the Vikings.
Well, hey, speaking of the other American football, our football program will be playing the Schaumburg Saxons at Schaumburg this Friday at 7 p.m. So, hey, if you're ever in the western suburbs this week, do check them out. They will also play their next home game here at Check Post Stadium next Friday, the 20th, for the homecoming game. So you won't want to miss it. To see more updates on our football team, check out at Niles North FB on Instagram, X, TikTok, and we got anything else there, Jacob?
I'm excited, Anthony.
Yeah, they're on another platform though. What's the other platform football's on now?
We have platforms on Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube.
YouTube, that's what I was missing. Yes, YouTube, the YouTube channel. It is New North, so they're trying some new things on social media. And Trevian on the ground, just out of bounds. It'll be a goalie kick. And again, keeping it slow. Pressure there from Ramich, though, making them move the ball a little bit more. And he's really the only Viking in the area trying to keep wide in case they throw a new one at him. Ball bounces over their heads, and now the Trevians come out of that victorious. Their number 20. Great pass down the field, and some pressure there. Couldn't tell who that was. Oh, number 17, Shabana. Again, right up against number 19 from the Trevians, making that play hard. And the Trevians, again, keeping it on their side of the pitch. Pass goes long, crossing the field, and Trevians, again, just playing back and forth. Ramich trying to get in there again. But otherwise, the Trevians successful, attempting some things, trying to get across, but then retreating. There's pressure from Sarvan as the ball goes out of bounds. And shout out to the ball boy. I know we just saw him hit number 19 back of the neck, but doing a lot of great work trying to keep this game moving.
Yeah, salute to our ball boys, Anthony.
I mean, a lot of the time, these are younger players in the program, so it's great for them to see the varsity level of play here. They play at Lawler Park across the street, or across Old Orchard. Oh, well, I'm kidding. Actually, they used to play at Lawler Park. Now we have the back fields here at Niles North, newly done this past year or so. Brand new turf field. Lots of great stuff going on, Jacob.
Yeah, 100%, Anthony. I've been back there a lot of times. I've been doing a lot of work with the football team, running their social media, and it's a space that gets used by all sorts of teams. I see the girls' flag football team practicing. I see, obviously, our football boys, and I see some of the younger soccer teams practicing back there sometimes. So it's great to see that we are utilizing the space, and it's just great to have it. And not to mention all the brand new baseball fields. All turf, which is a little weird to me personally.
Yeah, I guess Jacob's a bit of a traditionalist, but hey, turf drains well, works great for our teams, and lets our programs keep on working. Great slide tackle there from number 7, Escobedo of the Vikings. Pass is low to the ground, and the Trevians are in control. Some pressure from Chabana, keeping it in, and it's a whistle. Be number 5, Jason Avram, knocking it to Sarvan to get the play moving. Sarvan back there, and great pressure from number 9. Aggressive, just like Ramich. And the ball goes out of bounds off the Trevian. Will be Viking ball. Goes long header by the Trevian. Irfan Sarvan trying to save the play. Does roll out of bounds. Still be Viking possession, though. Be tossed in long, trying to replay that. And Trevians again intercepting it with the header. And New Trier still with the ball. Some pressure there from, looks like number 35, Jesus Mataran. Some more from Sarvan toward the midfield. And, ooh, strike into the back of the knee on Avram. But toughs it out, and the Trevians have the ball yet again. Trevians facing some pressure from Ramich and number 22, Michael Mann. Will go long, though, about 20, 25 yards. And back again. Trevians again trying to slow them down, make the Vikings waste their energy, as we're now just 10 minutes away from the end of the half. Pass gets to the target and almost hits Escobedo on the head. Will be Sarvan, though, from the Vikings to take it. Not without a whistle, though. It's Avram again to start it off here. And chipped out of bounds by number 6, Diego Moreno. Will be Trevian tossing. And a long one. Battle between 9 and Avram. Both fall to the ground.
And the Trevians are going to set up for a corner. And Anthony, they've been scary from that corner position. You could tell they practice this a lot. And you're going to see how aggressive they are, especially.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't want to get them on a setup play like that. And again, Trevian's very scary on a play like that. But it does go out of bounds. And the keeper from the Vikings has the ball. Goes quite a ways. Tries to get to Trey Harris, but headed by 2 Trevians. Is cleared out of the way by Avram, though. Harris gets the ball this time and gets outplayed by the Trevian. Great speed on Trey Harris, though.
Yeah, you got to match that speed with the Trevians. They are fast. And in order to keep up with them like the Vikings are, they have to be just as fast, if not faster. So a great job by Trey Harris just to keep up with that electric speed.
Certainly. And Trevians with an easy strike picked up by the keeper.
You almost tried to chip it in a little bit. No, almost kind of looked like a golf swing.
Yeah, with that leg move. Yeah, I think if he did get a little bit more height on it, could have at least given him a challenge. But, you know, Albert always locked in. There's Sarvan caught between 3 Trevians. Some back pressure. Ooh. Falls to the ground after the attempted slide from number 5, Jason Avram. But we're seeing the Vikings attack some more, or attempt rather, some more defensive pressure. And juked out, the Trevian is. Pass does go to the new Trier, number 3.
Yeah, this game has been nothing but making moves left and right. It is jukes, spins, outrunning, chasing down. this game has been just been filled with these two teams just trying to measure up on each other, trying to see who is the faster, more dominant one in this matchup.
Yeah, and right now it is looking like the Trevians, but you got the Vikings here trying to get something going in the last 7 minutes of the half. Does go out of bounds, though. Off of a Trevian, though, it's Gael Garcia throwing it in. And Gael likes to throw it along that sideline, but Trevians know it's coming every time. It's the number 9 as the whistle is blown. And Trevian's trying to move it quick. Now, there's the number 2, usually in the backfield, but now trying to make some moves is knocked out by Avram.
Yeah, I'm not surprised here, Anthony. The Trevians want to keep the ball moving. Time is winding down in this half, and ideally they want momentum. They want to score. They want to make sure that they have just to go into the half with the lead. So you're going to see them try to go as fast as possible, almost at a pro speed. If you ever watch any professional soccer, you'll see similar things like that. They trying to rush the ball, making sure to get it in as fast as possible, make sure no one gets a breather.
Yeah, certainly, Jacob, and that's a change from earlier in the half where Trevians were trying to stay very calm. 1-1. That's not an ideal situation to be in, but not terrible. But now, as the Trevians see the clock winding down, coach wants to get something going. But here it is. They're in the backfield. And, yeah, normally you'd see them going back and forth back there a little bit more, but now they're further up on the pitch. Definitely trying to get something going. Great long pass off the shoulder of a Trevian. The Vikings get in the way. Knocking it back in the midfield. And yeah, these two guys would usually be further back, closer to where you can't really see him, but the keeper is right now. He's around the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and he's doing it again, Anthony. Trying to get a closer look, surveying, and he's got a lot of ground to cover right now, but you could tell he has confidence.
Yeah, and we saw the call there from coach to try to put some more pressure on. But the Trevians now creeping up now, and they were going for the goal, but goes a little long.
Yeah, nobody home there on the cross. Just overall miscommunication from the Trevians. And I think you might start to see him crack a little bit as the Vikings right now are putting him into upset alert.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't call it quite yet, and I wouldn't even call it an upset at this point in the season. Trevians obviously defending champs, but it is a new team. Goalie kick makes it about 45 before it gets stopped by the Trevians. And again, the Vikings kind of struggling with the Trevian dominance here in the midfield. Trey Harris trying to put some pressure on. It's number 2 again down that sideline. Identical play. And this time stopped by Sarvan as he falls to the ground. Ooh, Ramich and Sarvan with some quick moves. Little spin attack. Or spin move, rather. And now the Vikings are in control on their own side of the pitch.
Anthony, I don't know if you saw that spin move, but that he made it look like the ball phased through his leg. Absolute electric stuff here from the Vikings. They have been meeting their high-level competition super well in this game, Anthony.
Yeah, definitely. And the struggles are apparent, but, they're not as bad as they would be from a less experienced team, unlike the Vikings. And popped up with a header from a Viking. There's Escobedo. Trevian falling to the ground. No whistle, though. As Ramich, can you save it? Ooh, just barely out of bounds. Trevian's keeping that ball moving. 2.5 minutes remaining in the half. And Haro almost falling to the ground, too. Lots of energy, lots of angst there in that corner. as the Trevians have the ball. They'll toss in now, and again, you have a lot of people set up here in the goal box. Header and headed out by the Vikings. They try to clear that as quick as they can, and the Trevians have control yet again.
I think they tried a bicycle kick there, Anthony. Could not quite land it. It is a tough move to land in this sport. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, if you do it, you're on Sports Center. If you don't, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, what's that called? They still do the top 10 on Sports Center?
Yeah, they still do it.
Or you don't want to be Shaqtin' a Fool, though, on TNT. And there's Trey Harris, some little moves back to Escobedo. He gets it down to Ramich, trying to keep the Trevian out of the way. And this is the first time in a while where we've seen the Vikings so far down the pitch. They're looking to get a final move going in the last 55 seconds, or 1 minute here. Trevians do get to set it up, though. And they try to keep it on their side. They still have some time to get a play in. And they know it. They try to get it down, headed off of a Viking, though. And whistle there with just under 30 seconds remaining. And New Trier trying to play up the drama here as the clock dwindles down. Game clock at 10. He goes. Can he get something done? Trevians. Goal! New Trier. Right with 3 seconds left on that clock, Jacob. Unfortunate for the Vikings, who were doing a pretty good job matching the Trevians up until that point.
Yeah, just a beautiful chip shot there on the free kick. Perfect placement there. And just skips over a couple Viking heads, and ball goes through the net. It's hard to see, but overall though, these Vikings have stuck through with this New Trier team, and I think it's been a very impressive showcase so far. So look out, because here come the Vikings.
Yeah, we will be back with some more Viking action in 8 minutes. Stay tuned. And we are back for the second half of this game between your Niles North Vikings and the new Trier Trevians. Before we get started, I do have to offer a couple of corrections. Number one, the keeper's name is not Albert, it's Gio. I was thinking back to last season. Of course, they had a keeper named Albert, but it's Giovanni, so we do apologize for that. And it also appears that that last goal at the end of the half did not count. We will check back in with more on that. But for now, Jacob, can you tell us a little bit more about last half?
Yeah, 100% Anthony. Now, New Trier, they were aggressive all half, dominant, some may say. New Trier has been putting the Vikings on roller skates, electric speed. However, the Vikings are not letting the defending state champions come into their house and embarrass them. They have been aggressive as well. They've been stopping the Trevians everywhere they can, and it's been really impressive. I'm excited to see the second half. I mean, we're going into this tied. It's great to see.
Yeah, it will definitely be a good one. And as you mentioned, New Trier has kind of been dominating, but not in the traditional sense where it's just goal after goal after goal. It's minute, right? It's little things happening on the pitch that are making it very hard for the Vikings to actually get on out there and make a play.
In all honesty, I think the deciding factor of this game is how well conditioned these two teams are, for how much they are running, for how much they are getting around the pitch. These guys have to be exhausted right now, so it's just a matter of who taps first.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Coach Chivich, obviously one of the great soccer minds here at Niles North, trying to tell the Vikings to start to apply more pressure, but that wasn't exactly there at the beginning of the game. So hopefully, as we start this second half, the Vikings will use some of that saved energy to put some more defensive pressure on the Trevians. They will have the ball in the back of the pitch. And we got a couple of new people here on the field. You got number 4 from the Trevians, not there last half. Take it down the sideline, trying to find another Trevian. Ends up knocking it back. It's number 15. He goes long on the pass, but it's stopped by Sarvan, who just got a new haircut. Shout out Irfan Sarvan's barber. And a Viking on the ground with no whistle as the ball goes out of bounds. Sorry, well, not. I do believe there was a whistle. Again, kind of hard to hear from up here, Jacob. But the Vikings get going. That's Jason Avram.
Yeah, 100% Anthony. Trevians pushing it towards around midfield. Vikings pick it up. Has it over the number 8. Fancy feet right there. And intercepted by a Trevian. And ball will grace around the 40. And big collision.
Hey, I got to say, though, number 7, Danny Escobedo makes it look cool, flipping down on the ground, full 720. And, looks like an action star out there.
God, that guy in New Trier came flying. He brought the boom. Shout out AJ and Big Justice.
Yeah, I like to see that we're keeping up with the current trends there on social media. And speaking of social media, we have our new flag football team here at Niles North, obviously, trying to get started. They've had a fantastic season thus far. But, if you want to keep updated with them, you can follow them on Instagram. Just search Niles North Flag Football, and they'll pop up. Great student-run page with lots of exciting updates, scores. They have a couple of their highlights from the Summer League on there. And, it's a great way to get connected with our team. And, hey, we will be broadcasting our first ever girls flag football game on Monday in the Crosstown Classic against Niles West. So, Jacob, are you excited?
Oh, I'm excited, Anthony. I've watched a few of the girls flag football games, and let me tell you, they're really good. It's been fun to watch this new program blossom. They were even featured recently on Fox 32 Chicago on Orange Friday, along with many other of the amazing athletic programs here at Niles North. I'm excited for our first broadcast of girls flag football, and of all games, it's against West. So, Crosstown Classic, it's always fun, no matter what sport, Anthony.
Certainly there, Jake. We'll definitely not want to miss that. You can catch when we go live with Girls Flag Football this Monday against the Niles West Wolves by subscribing down below. Play is stopped, but we saw a couple of great movements there from number 22, Michael Mann. Again, trying to put some pressure on the Trevians. But if you noticed, it seemed like he was alone, in that part of the pitch. It was just Michael Mann. Against a lot of Trevians, they have a strong backfield.
And potentially a little miscommunication there. He should not be alone like that, especially with this aggressive team like New Trier. It's interesting to see. Hopefully they can make some adjustments.
And goalkeeper saves it for the Trevians.
Just an easy pop fly there, Anthony. He'll get that all day.
Yeah, certainly. And just for those who may be confused, again, we did switch sides of the pitch going into the second half. Trevians going slower like they were toward the beginning of first half. Obviously, they tried to speed it up, leading to that goal that ended up not counting. But, they're going to try to keep the Vikings using as much energy as possible. And we did see them try to go long. That was the play that started the series of plays that got them that 1 point. But it'll be Giovanni, the keeper. Giovanni with the goal kick. That's a good one. He's got a great leg. Consistently gets it 45-50 out.
Yeah, he has been solid all game. Giovanni has been solid all game. He's been taking some of these soccer balls like his life depends on it. It's been amazing to watch, and he has combated this New Trier aggression. It's entertaining. So far, he has been the player of the game for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you there. One goal early on did not get him down. If anything, it emboldened him, empowered him to keep being confident with his saves, and it's worked out for the Vikings so far.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Something like that kills momentum, and just the fact that he hasn't let it phase him.
Trey Harris. Okay, we got to talk about Trey Harris like a gazelle. Here on this pitch, it's fantastic. Sorry, Jacob. What were you gonna say? I thought we were gonna have something going on there.
Yeah, Anthony. As I was saying, momentum is a huge factor in any sport, and the fact that he didn't let that early goal within the first 2 minutes of the game phase him at all, and having him be lights out ever since, it's impressive. It speaks to how great and how mentally capable of a player he is.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a guy, again, who been in this program for a long time, watching the Vikings, as a youngin', and now, again, to play on the team. And he's very in tune with the community. His mom is as well, member of the Booster Club, organizes part of it, and she's down here in the stands tonight, obviously proud of her son. Also a substitute teacher here at Niles North, so hey, if you have Miss Harris, ask her about her son. It's number 4, back to 15. Trevians with a big one. And unfortunately for the Trevians, number 9 can't jump high enough to cut the momentum on the ball and get a play going. But again, it's like a boomerang. This ball goes right back to that backfield, and they're able to set it up again and again and again. And, it's saving their strikers a lot of energy, whereas the Vikings kind of have to just go with the flow and use whatever they can to apply pressure, try to get them out of the system. And some fancy footwork there from the Trevians as a guy from New Trier falls to the ground. A yellow card is issued to the Vikings, and I wasn't quite sure about that one, Jacob. Could you tell what was going on?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell from all the way back here, Anthony. What I will say is that was very aggressive. It's hard to see, but the officials, what they say is final. Of course, though, isn't there a shortage of officials, Anthony?
I'm glad you asked. Yes. Always we could use more officials, But especially post-COVID, we've seen a shortage of officials in the Illinois High School Association. So if you want to stay in tune with your community, want to stay active, and make a little bit of money while you're at it, you should apply to be an IHSA official at ihsa.org. That's ihsa.org. And, you know, we don't get to debate you when you're an official. So, I mean, they do mostly make the right calls, Jacob. Gotta love them, keeping the game safe.
And as always, Anthony, if you don't think the call is right, don the stripes.
Hey, I like it, Jacob. Vikings in the back, and miscalculated pass sends Gael Garcia running a little bit in a panic, and the Trevians catch on. They're applying that pressure again from the back. That's number 16. And, you know, he's new on the pitch. It's obviously something that the coaches here at New Trier focus a lot on, just putting as much pressure from all sides as they can on the Vikings. It's number 8, Alian Jamal, back on the field. He was gone for a little bit, one of the starters, and his pass rolls out of bounds. Man, just not quick enough to keep it in. And Trevians, keeper, gets it out to number 4 down the sideline. Facing some pressure from man and gets it through the defenders. It will be number 7 from New Trier falling to the ground. The rest of the team keeping up the momentum. That ball's still moving. And, ooh, the attempt on goal rolling just out of bounds by maybe a foot, Jacob.
Yeah, absolute great move there by Giovanni. He noticed that that ball was not going towards him, and he got away from it, making sure not to draw a corner, which New Trier has been very aggressive with, and able to make sure that this is a goal kick, and he's going to give the Vikings some momentum with it.
Yeah, certainly New Trier very scary on those corner kicks. It's how they got that 1 point. And also, it puts a lot of pressure on the Vikings to, you know, try to stop that ball from going all the way in. I mean, it gets my blood pressure going up here. This gets me nervous. But hey, the Trevians knock it down. Header by Gael Garcia. That's going to leave a bump. Goes through the legs of man, and some one-on-one action. Number 4 quits, though, and the Trevians triangulate. Or quadrilateralate now. We got a 4th player in the back of the field. Oh, and Trey Harris just not tall enough. Can't extend that leg. Trevians now. And we're seeing the Vikings try it a little bit, too. That's Diego Moreno, again, trying to come from the back. You know, make the Trevians work a little bit harder for it. As the ball goes out of bounds, will be Viking ball. Trevians, though, again, with that ball, and that's one of the key indicators that Trevians just have the slightest bit of an edge over the Vikings. You know, they keep getting that ball back. They're still able to set up plays, you know, even 51 minutes into the game.
Yeah, 100%, Anthony. And that brings me back to the point I made earlier about the deciding factor is the conditioning. New Trier has been shown that they seem to be the more well-conditioned team, as they've been able to just move on all sides of the pitch and tire out the Vikings here, especially as it gets later. The clock keeps ticking down. We don't need these Vikings turning into a pumpkin, Anthony.
I mean, it is Halloween coming up and October coming up. Oh, it's a Cinderella. Hey, you know, I'm not. You're the pop culture guy. I'm the field guy, I suppose. You know, I've tried to learn as much about this sport as I can the past 4 years. Obviously, very big on Niles North. It will be the Trevians with the ball again, and they're moving that ball quick. Or at least they were off of that header, or throw-in, my apologies. Some passes back and forth between 4 and 15. Now all the way across the pitch, down that far sideline. The big pass. And, you know, one thing I noticed about the Trevians, when they got a big pass like that, you got one guy in front who tries to head it, cut that momentum. Another guy a couple yards behind who, in case that doesn't work, can continue the play. Will be the Vikings, though, high in the air. And shoulder ball by the Trevians. Just keeping that ball up, keeping it moving, and giving the Vikings a tough time. Great block there by Niles North. There is a whistle, though.
Some beautiful weather here at Chuck Post Stadium. 74 degrees and clear. A beautiful autumn night here in Skokie.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a little bit cooler. It was definitely warm standing up, but hey, do we got a cold front coming in?
Checking the weather here. It's not expected to change much. It might go down to 72 as the game goes on, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, and you know, you want it to be a little bit cooler. Obviously not freezing when you're playing soccer like this, but running back and forth like that, that stamina deteriorates when you have such a high temperature to the point where it even becomes dangerous. You know, their first game of the season against the Palatine Pirates, supposed to be at home, was canceled because of the wet bulb globe temperature.
Yeah, 100%, Anthony. It's when you run, you sweat a lot, and that's your body naturally cooling you down, and that's going to warm up the body temperature significantly. You know, a little bit of a personal example, I have VPE first period, and sometimes we'll go out and it'll be like high 50s to like low 60s. However, once we start running, it feels a lot warmer. So it's just the more you run, the hotter it gets, and that's really how weather plays a huge impact into a game like this, especially in a game like this that is so closely locked that it's a matter of just how well conditioned each team is.
Yeah, well, thanks to their Brant Miller. Hey, but yeah, it is true, and it makes these feats of athleticism all the more impressive when you consider, you know, those external factors. And out of that, a little scuffle comes out. Trevian ball. Will be the Vikings, though, trying to keep it in. And it's a tough situation here. Trevian's looking to score. A little bit of footwork. But the Vikings double team and put the pressure on. And the ball is out of bounds. It's a goal kick. Keeps it in the back of the pitch. It's Jason Avram facing some pressure. You saw him sweeping in from the side. Trevian's good work on that pressure and defense.
Yeah, absolute blazing speed right there, Anthony. Trying to lock it down. The Vikings cannot catch a breath with this pressure that the Trevians have put on them.
Certainly. I think that's the difference between the Vikings and the Trevians here, as there's an amazing save there from Giovanni. Yeah. But, hey, you know, and Jacob, you knocked me off of my track, man. Was that the crossbar? I couldn't see it.
Yeah, I think it might have hit the crossbar a little bit, but I think Giovanni did get a hand on it.
Yeah, no matter what, he got up, so great hops there on Gio. But the difference between the Trevians and the Vikings is that Trevians play their defense a bit more methodically throughout the play, whereas I feel like the Vikings always end up having to put more energy in toward the end and kind of sweat it a little bit as they near the goal. Right, they being the Trevians, of course. And speaking of Trevians, they bring it down the sideline. A little bit of a trick, trying to juke us out, and there's a Viking on the ground. No whistle, though, as the Trevians try to keep it away from Michael Mann. Again, Jamal trying to get in there, too. And finally, the ball knocked out. But again, the Trevians come out again. They're number 4. Looking for a play, but headed out by Avram. Vikings now in possession. their first real control for a while now. They bring it down that far sideline.
And Anthony, that was almost a breakaway for the Vikings. I saw a couple of Vikings running down the field trying to get the long pass, but good job on Trier to cover all four corners there, making sure that he could not get that pass off.
Yeah, we saw that slide on the turf, almost knocked it out, but the Vikings do lose it to the Trevians. Ball rolls out of bounds, and it will be Viking ball. Inbounding is number 4, Gael Garcia. Well, we do have some substitutions coming back in. I see Ramage back in. That's the number 21, and a couple of others from the Vikings. Tosses in and goes off the foot of a Trevian. They try to feed it down, but Abrams there. Some great moves as number 6, Escobedo, faces some trouble from the Trevians. He runs around with it, though, and again, you got 3 Trevians on him, coming at him from all directions. Shabana losing the ball, just slips off his foot, I guess. And it's the Trevians with the ball again. Again, some more back and forth here, but the Vikings try to knock it out. They are making the Trevians put in a little bit more effort this half, though. Maybe equal now, running around. And great to see. There's number 10, Irfan Sarvan. Some moves again. On the other side of the pitch, Vikings pass it down. And a larger pass, this time to the Trevians. Popped up, but header by Chabana. And goes past. They'll let the keeper take it. Nice roll there as the Trevians are in control in the backcourt, or backfield rather.
Put that man on the PBA tour, Anthony. An amazing bull there.
Yeah, the lane's oiled well with the dew. Of course, these turf fields do drain. They shouldn't have to worry too much about that. And the Trevians, again, trying to break through. Vikings stopping them toward the end. There's their number 10 passing out. And it's looking a little dangerous there. He wants to get that ball, but makes the right decision. Keeps it slow instead. The ball goes out of bounds. Will be Trevian possession. Or it will be a goal kick, I believe. Another sub in for the Trevians now. I'm sorry, not a goal kick. Will be a corner kick. Again, Vikings have to be very careful here. Trevian's a very strong team and will definitely be making some moves.
100%, Anthony. Puts both hands up. Something I've noticed the Trevians do a lot lately.
And some trouble here. Knocked out, though, by the Vikings. Trevian still trying to make a move here. And the cross shot just too long. And goes out of bounds off of the Trevians' hairdo.
Yeah, a great job there by the Vikings locking up on defense, pinballing that ball around, making sure that that goes nowhere near the net, and giving the Vikings keeper just a nice fresh breath of air, and potentially a really nice sigh of relief.
Certainly, as the Trevians are in the midfield. Pressure looks like by number 35, Mataran. Also saw Ramich in there, but he gave up on it to go back and play some more coverage. And couldn't tell if that was an attempted shot on goal or if it was a pass, but either way it went out of bounds on the Trevians. Will be Viking ball with a goal kick. off of Ramich and Mataran. But it will remain Trevian ball. They keep getting the ball back. They keep having opportunity after opportunity to make plays. They're on the far sideline now, trying to go into the goalie box and just out. Very scary there, Jacob.
Very much there, Anthony. That ball looked very scary. That ball looked like it was going straight for that net. I think the goalie ought to buy the defense some dinner after that one. So, going to be a goal kick now. Big boot there. That one's going to drop a little over 50 yards. Great kick. Actually, had a little more with the end zone. So Vikings throw in. Scanning. And throws that over. Possession goes to the Trevians. And a little bit of playing catch with their feet there almost. Double header. Passes one back around the 10-yard line. Screams one over to another Trevian. And back to number 15. No, back to the goalkeeper. The Trevians with it now on the 40. Pushing forward. Going past the 50. Oh, back over to the opposite 40. Trevians push through it. And finds his man back by the 30. And I'll rock it. And some trouble here, maybe? No, that ball is screaming out of bounds, and he's going to let it go out of bounds, and I believe that's going to bring up a corner kick.
Yeah, yet another long pass there from the Trevians, and this game would be not as close if the Trevians could control that pass a little bit more. That's an identical play that they've gone for several times, and time after time goes too far, they can't get anything off of it.
You know, I almost wonder if that's coming from deep down frustration from the Trevians. They know this is a team they should beat, but they're not. They are tied right now, and right now the Vikings are putting them into upset alert, and that is causing a little anger, a little frustration. Potentially with that, maybe a little extra power on the kick.
Yeah, I definitely agree there, Jacob. I also think that Trevians know that they're going to have more opportunities, so they're a little bit more careless with it. And that's not something that usually gets coached, but they've had many opportunities here. Time after time, and certainly way more than the Vikings so far. Vikings playing catch-up, not in terms of score, but just in terms of energy and opportunity on the pitch. And looking at a potential set piece here from the Trevians. This is dangerous. I'm not sure I like the setup here. Go straight. And, yeah, that's going to be picked up by Giovanni. And I thought that might have had a little bit more height on it at first, but Trevian's keeping it simple.
Like the setup or not, Anthony, the Vikings all over that. So a great prevention of a potential scary opportunity here.
Certainly, as battle forward in midfield, you got Sarvan applying some literal pressure, some pushing maybe a little bit, but as number 17 and the others in the back of the field go back and forth. That's number 2 trying to run it up. And again, the Trevians have very well-defined roles, I've noticed. Number 2 always trying to take it down. Number 20 always in this sort of middle position here. I mean, they do have literal positions, but it's not so often that you see them hit the same plays again and again and again. And I think that consistency is also part of why the Trevians get so many opportunities to score. The Vikings not necessarily able to set that up in the same way, having to, try to keep up with the speed and the experience of this Trevian team. And ball goes long. I think I heard that go off his head. Maybe it was a water bottle in the stand or something. but crazily timed as the ball goes out of bounds. Trevians back, and it looks like they're bringing up the energy a little bit, trying to speed up the game. You know, just 12 minutes remaining in the game. They got to get something done to, you know, actually win outright and not just tie. Vikings of the same mentality, though. It does get stopped by New Trier on that far sideline. And that guy was launched. And we've got some disagreements. Was it a yellow card, Jacob? I couldn't quite see.
Yeah, I think he may have pulled out the yellow card, Anthony. Not a good play for the Vikings this late on.
Yeah, and that's now the second for the team, I believe. You know, some angst out of these Vikings, you know, falling just a little bit behind the Trevians here. And scooped up by Gio of the Vikings. Jamal back in and goes out of bounds off of number 12 from the Trevians. Vikings, though, keeping up that momentum. It's man getting denied by the Trevians. But you had Moreno send that far out. Vikings will retreat, though, going way back, and you have number 9 applying additional pressure for the Trevians. Another fall from a Trevian. No card on it that time, as we have 11 minutes remaining in this match. They're setting up a play here. Header. And again, easily picked up by Giovanni. Shout out to the defenders there trying to pack the back of the field, you know, making it a lot easier on Giovanni, who is definitely skilled but can't do it without the help of his team.
Yeah, I said it before, and I'll say it again, Anthony. I mean, for how well this defense was playing, I think Giovanni ought to buy them dinner at some point.
Yeah, it's like when quarterbacks like treat the O-line out to, you know, go to the Fogo de shower. They probably go a little bit fancier than I would, but.
Fogo? What kind of money do you think we have, Anthony?
And it's the Trevians with the ball again. Now number 15. Again, that backfield is getting pushed up. You know, the Trevians are actually making the pitch smaller here. And that's being indicated not only by their style of play, but you also got the goalie now up at the 35-yard line, just a couple of yards out of frame. And he keeps moving up at the 38.
Yeah, I've seen him do this multiple times this game. Just, I'm not quite sure why. My guess is probably to be there in case New Trier needs, in case that ball starts to go backwards, potentially almost another defender in the backfield as insurance.
Yeah, that's a dangerous way to play. I also think it speaks to the confidence that the goalie, also a captain, I believe, that has in his team. You know, that's great leadership by the Trevians. And obviously that was one of the factors resulting in that championship run last year. And Trevians with the ball. And a great chipped pass will go too long. Does it go out of bounds? Just saved. Vikings, though, trying to get out of that corner, will be out of bounds. And they keep that moving. He passed that right back up. Trying to catch the Vikings off guard, but it doesn't work. Trevians, though, still facing pressure as it is stopped by Giovanni.
Yeah, the Trevians wasting no time, Anthony. Wanted to make sure. I mean, kind of like you said, trying to catch the Vikings off guard there did not work, and that has been the key to the game for the Vikings. They have kept up with New Trier. That has been the key. Just playing catch up with this team and playing catch up fairly well.
Yeah, definitely. Although obviously never a position you want to be in.
Yeah, well said, Anthony. And appears we have an injured Viking on the field. Our wonderful athletic training staff are going to check him out, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, I believe we got Don Palmer down there, as well as a couple of student interns, obviously doing great work trying to keep the athletes safe. As he gets up, good on him, the Viking walking it down. Yeah, shout out to Don Palmer, Joe Paywall, and of course Dennis Makis, all three of them. You know, the supporting core of our athletics department and our student athletes.
They're wonderful, Anthony. I've had injuries in athletics. They've helped me a lot. Just a very big shout out to them.
Yeah, certainly. 7:53 will be the time remaining on the clock to finish out this match. Still 1-1, Vikings Trevians. And players will reapproach the pitch at this point.
And it's been a great game, Anthony. Tied 1-1. Less than 8 minutes left. It's exciting stuff here. So it looks like the Vikings are going to kick it in. And Vikings are going to boot that in. That's going to screen towards the 40, and Trevians right there to stop it. Pushing through, tries to shovel it through, and that is out. A lot of oomph on that. But alas, put a little too much mustard on it, and that is going to be a Vikings goal kick.
Giovanni, you know, his legs are getting stronger throughout the night. Very impressive trying to keep it up there. But it's Elyon Jamal breaking through, and we could see some big offensive moves here from the Vikings, the first in quite a while. They bring it down, but Vikings are outnumbered, and they were never going to be able to make a play off of that. 7 minutes remaining in the match now. That'd be New Trier's number 2 trying to bring it down. Just knocked out of bounds, though, by number 7, Escobedo. And New Trier will reset. Again, trying to shrink that pitch. That backfield will move up. They bring it down again. All the way down. And he breaks through. And stopped by number 4, Gael Garcia. And Giovanni. What a great save by that pair.
Wow, Anthony. Just wow. The Vikings defense prevailing once again, and that is frustrating New Trier right there. They're setting up for this corner. I wouldn't be surprised if he sent that ball to the stands for how frustrated he might be after that.
Yeah, definitely. We do have a New Trier corner. Goes into the box header and goes long. Trevians, though, still in control, looking to get something done. And out of bounds off of Gael Garcia will elicit another corner, I believe.
Yeah, great job of poking away, resetting the corner there. And the New Trier, they've been scary with the corner, but they haven't capitalized as much as I think they would have liked. Just a great job by the Vikings defense.
And, yep, corner kick. He winds up. Again, that one's a bit flatter, but long. And does it stay in bounds? It does. Yeah, it could have been another corner.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to save it there, Anthony. But alas, the Vikings get it, although it's out again, and New Trier just throws it in.
And could have a breakthrough here from the Vikings. Great speed, but he's the only one leading the charge and gets knocked out of bounds. No help for the Vikings.
%, Anthony. So Vikings are going to throw it in now. We are approaching 4.5 minutes left in this game, tied 1-1. And it looks like we have another injury on the field. Trey Harris is down. Trainer Don Palmer's going to check him out, although he is walking off the field. So good signs here.
Yeah, again, shout out to our training staff. Clock will be set at 4:24. Sub coming in. Believe that is number 2, Jacob Abraham.
Shout out to a fellow Jacob.
4:24 remaining in the match. Tied 1-1. Vikings looking to potentially upset the defending state champs in the 3A division. And we got some more subs. And time will actually go 4:29. Just under 4.5 minutes to finish out this game. New Trier with the ball yet again. And one of them down, Vikings in possession now, Chabana. There is a whistle. And it'll become New Trier ball. Again with that windup going soft. And they bring it down that sideline. New Trier looking to make a move here. Stopped. That potential pass was stopped by a Viking. They try to go in, though, and too long, rolling out of bounds for New Trier. Now 3:45 on the clock.
Yeah, just did not read it right. Miscalculation there. I saw the Trevians trying to head it in. He had a clear shot, too. If just the connection was there, that ball's going in, and the Trevians would have taken a very late lead in this game.
Certainly, and I don't know if the Vikings will come back from it again. Well, it's the Vikings really fighting against the Trevians. It's not 100% equal here. Their number 4 passes in some action in the midfield, and there's that pressure from behind. Jacob Abraham learning from the Trevians. And now Jacob Abraham breaking through. Again, he's alone. A field of Trevians, slide tackle. But hey, Vikings getting it through on the other side of the pitch. We haven't been seeing it too much. Now we just need some pressure, but the backfield will remain dominant.
Yeah, I think the Trevian spirit just left for a moment, seeing that breakaway from Jacob Abraham. Able to quickly react, though, stopping and making sure nothing comes of that. And that is something New Trier has done perfectly, locking down any chance the Vikings have had. And it's just spoken to how good of a team they are.
Yeah, and I'm getting nervous for Niles North's scoring chances. Now just over 2 minutes remaining in the match. You know, I think the only way they'll be able to get something done is if, someone like Jacob Abraham, again, putting that pressure, trying to bring it through, can maybe get it out on a Trevian, and then they can reset the ball much closer to the net. Jacob, only one putting pressure back there, and again, the Trevians trying to shrink the pitch. New Trier looking to make a move, and coming out of the net, Giovanni with the heroics. 1.5 minutes remaining.
And Giovanni coming up clutch. Once again, Anthony, an electric game for him. Give him another medal.
Yes, definitely. Give Jacob Abraham a medal, and Michael Mann and Aiden Ramich and all the people fighting the back pitch of the Trevians today. Or not Trevians, Trevians.
Anthony, do you even know what a Trevian is?
I think it's some type of soldier, but don't quote me on that. And again, dangerous. Oh my goodness, you see the disappointment in New Trier's number 4. Understandably so. Absolutely nobody on the other end of that play to try to actually get it in. Vikings very lucky that the Trevians didn't get set up.
Yeah, disappointment has been New Trier's performance. Oh my goodness. He's going to go down after that. And, no, he's right back up. Shake it up a little bit, though.
Yeah, it is limping, and the clock did stop. Now 31 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, bang, bang play there, Anthony. Goes down in a hurry. However, New Trier is going to get the free kick.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to cut the clock there a little bit, but at any rate, lots of pressure from on number 10 from the Trevian fans. Goes long, and I think it's an offsides call, Jacob. 17 seconds remaining, trying to get something done. Vikings send it long. Oh my goodness, Trey Harris. Crosses, all boxed out. 5 seconds remaining, Trevians. In the final seconds, and that is your game, Viking Nation. Your Niles North Vikings will tie with the defending champs of New Trier 1-1. Jacob, your thoughts on the game?
I think a very impressive performance by the Vikings here. They have kept up with the Trevians, and they've been doing a lot this game. They have been fast. They've been putting this team on roller skates. They have been doing everything to exhaust this Vikings team. And this is definitely, although we did not get the win here, we also didn't lose. And that says a lot about these Vikings, how much they're willing to fight, how much they are willing to just put everything they got into this game. And they've drawn blood against the state champions, and it's exciting to see. And I mean, as the season goes on, this is definitely not the last you've seen of these Vikings. And New Trier, they got some work to do. I think they need to work on their conditioning a little bit, because that was the deciding factor in this game, was just the conditioning. And both teams, they were matched on that, and New Trier needs to gain that edge next time.
Certainly, Jacob. New Trier comes out of this one 4-1. Your Niles North Vikings 3-0-3. Definitely a fantastic match played by all. Still technically undefeated, as Jacob mentions. Jacob, do you have any final thoughts before we close out tonight?
Just a great performance by our boys, and they are going to greet the crowd after quite the performance, and a great crowd at that. A little more than usual for soccer. A great game here, and just a great performance overall.
Well, I'm Anthony Bramley.
And I'm the Snake, Jacob Ornstein.
And from all of us here at Niles North Viking Media, we wish you a good night.